What if you could build a business that gives you the life of freedom you deserve? What if you could find the secrets to marketing, leadership, customer service, and other aspects of business that help you exceed your goals? What if you could walk away from your business for 30 days and it never misses a beat? That's what this podcast is for, to help business leaders like you find freedom from the day-to-day grind and start spending your time doing the things you love. I'm Levi McClendon, and my co-host is Josh Taylor, and this is the Cheers to Freedom podcast.
Hey, welcome to a special episode of the Cheers to Freedom podcast. I am Josh Taylor, and I am with Levi McClendon. Levi, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Josh, how about yourself?
I'm doing great. It's almost New Year's.
Almost New Year's, man. We're right around the corner from another year in the books, which is beyond my comprehension, but it is what it is.
I think we're all kind of just creeping into 2022, maybe step in with one foot to see how it's going to go, because, you know, the last two episodes of this has not been what we thought it would be.
No.
But I digress.
I'm ready, though. I'm ready. Let's go 2022.
Let's go. Well, what we're talking about today is really relevant to the new year, because this is a conversation that you guys have we've really been having for a while, even before I came on with Team OpSpot. You and Jeremy were having conversations, and really this idea of Cheers to Freedom. We've named the podcast after it. We've had a couple of YouTube videos that we've done talking through Cheers to Freedom. But I wanted to spend a few minutes and have this special episode leading into the new year to talk about what Cheers to Freedom is, what's the story behind it, what's the intention behind it, and why we keep harping on some of the things that we're harping on, and why we're going to be talking about the things that we're going to be talking about into the new year. So with that said, Levi, what is the story behind Cheers to Freedom?
Yeah, and it is good timing. I think we are coming into the new year where there's a lot of resolutions being made, and part of that Cheers to Freedom is freedom is obviously it's arbitrary. It's whatever you make it, but usually it's a goal. Like when I hit this number, you know, am I going to have some type of freedom, right? And so I'm going to back up a minute. Josh actually gave me a book to read when Jeremy and I were heading on a vacation together, and I started reading it, and it really opened my mind to really about systems to put in place that get you to where you want to go, right? So you got to put in these systems. And I was thinking about my customers, and I thought, you know what, for what we offer a lot of different things for them. But the overall goal, what I want them to see, the big picture, is where do you want to go? Because we want to help you get there, right? Yeah. And so we kind of pitch this idea of, hey, you know, if you implement these things, you can get to your freedom number. Well, freedom number, Josh, is, you know, to these guys, especially in the car wash space, a lot of you guys out there that have these memberships, you know, you're like, hey, if we can get to, you know, 3,000 or 5,000 is the magic number. If we get to 5,000, that means we don't have to worry about it. We can, you know, sell. Everyone's selling right now, it seems, but we can sell at a, you know, whatever multiplier, or we can work on the business when we want to. You know, we don't. You know, a lot of you guys love to work in the business, and that's awesome. But a lot of times you have to. We want you to want to, and if that is your goal, you know, then awesome.
Yeah, now you have maybe the revenue to hire a manager that can take care of the day-to-day stuff, or, you know, I totally agree. Freedom is different for everybody. It could be a certain amount of money in the bank. It could be time that you get back. It could be things that you get to do, or maybe even choosing which parts of the business you want to work on. Because, I mean, in the reality, business owners, there are parts of the business that they love. There are parts of business that they just hate, and it's different for everybody. And so I think that's such a great point. Of this idea of what is your freedom number, and to that point, I think, Levi, what was fascinating about this when you first started talking to me about this was the intention that, you know, whether it's our customers or even our listeners that are listening to this right now, we're not just doing stuff. We're not just marketing your business just to grow your business. We're not just putting in these strategies just to give you a bigger business or more money in the bank or whatever it is. We're not giving you all of this stuff as listeners so that you can grow your business. We're trying to take you on a journey, and we want to know where is it going. We're going somewhere. And that's really the ultimate goal. We're not just doing this stuff just to do it so that you can say our business grew. We're actually trying to take you on a journey that's going to end somewhere.
Well, and part of that journey is having processes and systems in place to get you there.
Right.
So many times people go into business for themselves, or they just feel like if we just do this, then we're just the business is going to come, it's going to grow like crazy, and we find a lot of times that people are like, gosh, I started this. There aren't as many people coming as I thought there were going to be. My business isn't doing as well as I thought it would be. And or Josh, another thing that I learned during this time when we launched this Cheers to Freedom and the 5 funnels to freedom was a lot of customers of ours didn't even know what their freedom number was, right? There wasn't this, goal in the future of, hey, if I get to here. So I think when we kind of launched, Jeremy and I kind of did our Cheers to Freedom, YouTube video stuff. So if you haven't, if you're listening right now, you haven't seen that, I think you can go to our YouTube channel, and Josh will hit you up with that here in a second. But ultimately, you can kind of see along the way where Jeremy and I came out with this whole, it's actually called 5 funnels to freedom. And because we're able to come in from OpSpot and say, listen, if you implement these 5 funnels. Now, funnels we talk about are sales funnels, right? So these are funnels that we're going to pour into so that they fill up so that you guys can do what you want to do and achieve that freedom number. So we were like, okay, we know we can help our customers in these 5 areas for sure. And I'm going to touch on these right now, Josh. Again, you can go back and watch each one more in detail, but I'm just going to hit on these real quick because this is really where all this stemmed from. But the 5 funnels to freedom are this. Number 1 is your churn funnel. Your churn, you got to stop the leaky bucket, right? Your foundation, you got to have it. So the number 1 funnel we talk about is the churn funnel and fixing that. Number 2 is the retention funnel. If you're working really hard and you're doing a lot of the things we're telling you to do, and you've actually implemented OpSpot and some other things that are out there, and you're converting to membership, you've got to retain them. So you need to put a process and a system in place that is automated, that is going to retain your customers longer. Okay, that's the second funnel. The third funnel is your on-site funnel. We talked about this in another episode, that whole engage and exchange, right? You've got to exchange a car wash, right, an experience with a phone number or an email, something that you're going to be able to get back to those customers. And that is the lowest hanging fruit, right? And then your offsite marketing. These are local communities, churches, car dealerships, stores, other, quick service restaurants, you name it. There's so many ways to get in that local community, to get that local marketing. And that is your offsite marketing. And then finally, Josh, the 5th funnel is your online marketing funnel, right? So online right now is big. Your website. We talk a lot about websites, and we're starting to do those for our customers now because they need to sell and not just allow people to cancel memberships. Right. But we're definitely wanting to drive traffic from websites, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, anywhere where people are going and living on their phones. We want to be able to make sure that we're pouring into every funnel. So we're fixing a couple funnels, right? We got to fix a couple. And then we are going to be pouring into these marketing funnels so that you can do what? You can ultimately achieve your freedom number. And that's where this whole, hey, cheers to freedom. So these episodes, they're all about, and again, if you're listening to this and you don't own a car wash, or it's okay. This is all about practical business tips and ideas to help you figure out what that freedom number is for yourself and for your family, your business.
Yeah, and so what I would challenge our listeners to do with the information that we've presented here and the information that we're going to be giving in future episodes is, as we approach this new year, make it your goal in the first couple of weeks, maybe by January 15th. I just threw a random date out there. Yes, 2 weeks into the year, January 15th. By January 15th, you're gonna know what your freedom number is.
Right.
What is your freedom number? Whether you're a car wash, whether you're a restaurant, whether you're a retail business or a SaaS company, I don't care what kind of business you have. What is your freedom number? That needs to be your first goal. And then let's start thinking about how do you get there. And I think that these 5 funnels to freedom that you've talked about are a great place to go back and look at it and say, okay, where have we implemented well? What do we need to implement? What do we need to fix? I mean, churn is such a big one. declining credit cards, that is one that probably needs to just go ahead and get fixed first.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk more about these because I know that we've recapped those or we've talked about those on our YouTube channel, and you can see that in the Cheers to Freedom playlist on our YouTube channel, OpSpot. But and Jeremy and Levi do a great job of talking about what those are. But we're going to dive into more details about those 5 funnels to freedom in future episodes. And so, but I really do think that the very first thing you've got to do, where you need to start, is figure out, what is my freedom number? How many members do I need to have? Or, how much monthly revenue do we need to have coming in to where I can either walk away from the business if I want to, or I could go on a 30-day vacation and the business not skip a beat, or I can, spend more time with my family, or hire a manager that does the stuff that I just hate to do, whatever that might be.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. I think that's it. I think with this new year coming up, I think that's a great goal for everybody. And we're all about setting goals right now, is to find out what that freedom number is. And then obviously by, another call to action I'd like to make is make sure that you subscribe to this podcast. Again, these are things that we want to bring to business owners, and and again, it doesn't have to be just the car wash owners. We want you to be able to subscribe to this. We want to bring valuable information, and our goal, we want to cheers. As Jeremy always says, we want to cheers with you someday. When we see you, when we meet you, we want to be like, hey, cheers to freedom, and that's kind of our go-to right now, and that's what OpSpot's doing as well. So
that would be so awesome to run into different listeners and people that we work with that have reached their freedom number, and just have a cheers with them. That would be awesome.
Hey, and do me a favor too, if you're listening to this and you can comment, tell us what that is. Like, hey, this is our freedom number. You don't have to obviously disclose certain numbers, but you could say, hey, our goal was this, or our goal is this. Here's where we are now. We would love to know where you're at, where you want to go, and hopefully we'll be able to help you even get to that number. So it'd be awesome to hear back from you guys.
And tell us what freedom looks like for you, because I would love to. I really want to know it's different for everybody. What does freedom look like for you? If you reach that freedom number that you figured out, what are you going to get to do? And that's exciting. Well, Levi, thanks for this. We wanted to keep this episode short. We're getting into the holidays. I know people have a lot of things to do, and so hopefully you guys found this helpful. And we will see you guys in 2022.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Josh. And until next time, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.